So here's the thing about April Ludgate-Dwyer from Parks and Recreation.
If you had to choose between these two ties.
When I first watched the show, April was by far my favorite character in pretty much every situation. It's fascinating that in this show of extremely lively and bright characters, April is even in the cast at all, let alone one of the funniest people in the cast. From her relationship to Ron, to Ben, to Donna, to Leslie, to Andy, she's just one of the most interesting people to watch with a really conclusive and well thought out arc. One giant reason why April is the best character in this show is her development over the 7 seasons. I mean, I don't even really have to explain this, but I will anyway. Her change from season 1 to 7 is just mind-blowing, and I loved watching every second of it. Season 1 doesn't really contain a ton of development for her. It's only 6 episodes, so I wouldn't exactly expect there to be a ton of it either. Season 2 is where they really get going with her character. Her relationship with Andy shows a new, much softer side to April that we never really have gotten to see before. In the Galentine's Day episode, I enjoyed her figuring out how to leave her immaturity behind, even though she wants to be with someone who's extremely immature. It's not about not being able to have fun, it's about being an adult and not having fun at other people's expenses. And I'm glad she ditched those 2 gay friends she had, because despite me being gay as well, I hated those 2 motherfuckers. She also allows herself to connect more with the others in this season through a game where they dig up dirt on each other, and mostly with Ron Swanson. Becoming his assistant is the best decision this series has ever made. They work so well together and build off of each other's personalities with the best chemistry. Plus, because they're so similar, they're able to grow and actually find out how to connect with others together. She actually begins to do her job this season and really appreciates Leslie's presence. She's less annoyed by her, still is sometimes because Leslie is Leslie and April is April, but respects her way more than she did in the last season. Season 3 continues her opening up with others, but I'm glad that they're able to keep her personality constant despite that. It's a really tough thing to do that not a lot of TV shows really nail. In Flu season, she's really rude to Anne pretty much the entire episode, but it's more out of defense for herself and her own feelings than hate towards Anne. This is kind of April's whole character. She loves putting up walls around herself to make sure people can't get close to her. They end up doing that anyway, and she ends up developing into someone who actually lets them get close to her. Plus, when Anne is finally able to understand her and match her energy, their relationship completely changes for the rest of the show. I think this was technically the last time where April really hated Anne. And her marriage to Andy shows that she's really abandoned this facade that she shows everyone else and is willing to live her happy life publicly. I love when her sister gives a speech at her wedding and April cries. It says a lot about their relationship and how they treat each other. Even though it was mostly about a lost sweatshirt, April understands the sentiment and has grown enough to both recognize that and show emotions outwardly, which is something she would not have done a couple seasons ago. Ben teaches her and Andy a little bit about how to be more adult-like, and I love that they learn that they can balance both being adults and being immature. You can be more mature but still have fun. It is possible. Fun does not equal immaturity. Plus, she learns that post-marriage life is more about compromises than she thought when Andy is offended during Tom's game show. I thought it was really awesome of her to take the high road in this situation, especially with how immature Andy was being. All she said was that her favorite band was Neutral Milk Hotel. What's the ish there? In season 4, the show pivots more to April's life with Andy rather than her learning about how to be an adult on her own. I love them trying to find out something stupid to do before the end of the world, and it not only shows how perfect they are for each other, but also that they haven't let go of their fun-loving, immature sides just yet. And why would you? But even in serious situations, April is shown to be much more level-headed than she usually was. Think about when Andy goes to college. She's so supportive and tries her best to keep him on track with very few joking and sardonic moments about it. She's very serious about his success. Or when they visit the doctor. Yeah, they haven't gone in forever and it's definitely an issue, but she soldiers through because of the importance. She's even able to find Anne a serious date that she thinks would be a good match out of friendship to her. For Anne! Think about that for a sec. Plus, she actually begins to involve herself in her job. I loved watching her set up the pet adoption and work through the frustrations that ensued, but taking comfort in the fact that she actually did something good. Can you picture season 1 April doing that, or even doing something good in the first place? In season 5, she gets a lot of development through her move to DC with Ben. First of all, even the fact that she went to DC with him is pretty incredible. It's for work. her job, something that she has never cared about in the past. Since when would she go to a completely different state just for that? And all of the plot lines with her and Ben are so much fun. This is a really underrated duo that didn't get much screen time until the 5th season. The uptight rule follower along with the blasé, uncaring young adult, they work really well together and play off each other's personalities really well. It makes for excellent comedic timing, but also a really fun and caring brother-sister relationship. I love when she tries to replace Leslie by mimicking her every move this season, but instead finds that things work better if she does the job as herself, because she's extremely talented and confident, an important lesson for her to learn along the way. Her applying for nursing school is a fascinating storyline for her character as well. I like that she tries to find more purpose in her life, but decides that she doesn't want to force herself into anything. Just saying, this storyline continues into season 6, but I'm just going to talk about all of it here. It allows her to bond so much with Anne, love the time when Anne forced her to be friends. It's almost torture for her, it looks like, but it's almost like she's forcing herself to hate it. In reality, she's really close to Anne. Why else would she go to her with this problem? Plus, they get to spend a lot of extra time together, and she gets to really consider what she wants out of her life. In season 6, she's continuing looking for her purpose, which is a really nice and necessary addition for her character, as that's really the only thing about her that they haven't really addressed. Now that she's mature, what does she want out of her mature life? First of all, I love that she recommends Leslie for the London Award. That is such a huge sign of development for her. Season 1 April would have never. And she helps out Tom a ton this season too. What I really love about this season in particular is it shows how close she is to every single member of the group. Tom, Donna, Andy, even Jerry. She shows that she has a special relationship with everyone after all the development she's gone through. And season 7 finally realizes this arc, with her going to Washington and admitting to Leslie that she doesn't want to keep working in politics. Realistically, she never wanted to, so I'm glad she knows herself well enough now to state this out loud to Leslie, and I love how scared she was to tell her because of how much she cares about Leslie's feelings. She goes through a small crisis because of just how much she's changed, but ultimately realizes it's nothing to be ashamed about. Her and Donna's relationship is cemented through Donna's wedding, and it's wonderful to watch how much April cares about how well it goes. She's such a little softie this season. I love the trepidation she shows at leaving Pawnee and ending Andy's show. She cares so much about other people than she used to, and puts so much work and emotion into their successes and failures. She wants Andy to succeed so badly, and loves that he's been able to find something that he loves, and doesn't want to ruin it for him. So awesome. Plus, I'd like to add that the search for Ron's house key this season is also worthy of being on this list, as it not only shows how far April has come, but also how close she is to all the people in the group, specifically to Ron. He's a huge reason why I love watching April so much. And her ending in the finale is so touching and the perfect end to her arc. Having a child is one responsibility I never expected her to undertake, and it shows how professional and mature she's become over the 7 seasons. Plus, she's still involved in everyone else's life. She has permanent friends. Just a great ending to everything that she's learned about herself and all of the development and troubles we saw her go throughout the series. But that is pretty much all I have to say about April. I will probably make another video about her relationship to other people so I can dive more specifically into that. But as a general crash course for her development, this is kind of how I feel April's character went. And I really enjoy what they ended up doing with her, making her basically my favorite character in the entire show. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments below, and if you disagree, also let me know in the comments below. But if you enjoyed regardless, support us on patreon.com/TV_wins. There you can get early access to all of our videos, full-time reactions, and you could choose whatever you want to see on the channel, so it's a really great way to get extra content, but also to support us further. So, I will see you guys next time. Remember to spread positivity wherever you go. I feel like a lot of people are forgetting that. Positivity, folks, it's important. We need it so badly now. But I will see you guys for the next video, and goodbye.